Would you be willing to take a microchip in your right hand or possibly your forehead in the name of security or convenience? I don't think I would, but not because I'm afraid that I would be taking the mark of the beast. My name is Cole and you're watching Practical Faith. Stay tuned. With all of the craziness that's going on in the world today, it's not really surprising that people are considering doomsday scenarios. And they're talking about things like microchip implants. I've seen several videos come up on my Facebook page, and there's always a comment underneath that says something like, "Is this the mark of the beast?" And there's so much fear surrounding the mark of the beast, and everyone's wondering, is this it? Are we finally there? Is this about to happen? And this fear is not really anything that's new. A couple years ago, I remember Obama came out with his healthcare bill, and supposedly hidden somewhere in that bill was a law that was going to require everyone to receive a chip implant. And I've not seen anything like that happen. I actually dug into the bill myself to see if that was legit, and I never found it. Right? But it was going on long before that. I remember first hearing about the mark of the beast when I was probably 7, maybe 8 years old, and I was at my grandparents' church, and somebody came in and they showed a video where livestock were being implanted with microchips. And everybody's like, this is it. It's finally happening. Right? They're gonna round us up. They're gonna make us all take these chip implants. If we don't take it, they're gonna kill us. If we take it, we're gonna go to hell. And I remember being so scared. I thought somebody was gonna break in our house and drag us off to some camp and either implant us or kill us. And I would avoid the very thought of the mark and anything to do with it. I remember going to my grandparents' house and they would read the Bible every night, and I would beg them to read those old familiar stories like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel in the lion's den, so that there was no possibility that they would venture over into the book of Revelation and start talking about things that terrified me, like the mark of the beast or the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse or the Antichrist. I didn't even know why those things scared me, but they scared me. Now, I think a little bit of healthy fear is okay, but some Christians seem to have adopted a sky is falling mentality, and there is an Antichrist behind every rock. And they're like, who is the Antichrist? Who is the, it's gotta be Obama, it's gotta be Trump, it's gotta be blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it doesn't have to be any of those. I just don't think that we should be living in constant fear all the time. Let's be aware, but let's not live in fear. I want to give you just a few things to think about concerning the mark of the beast. Number one is that we are assuming that everything spoken of in Revelation 13 specifically is futuristic. It has not happened yet. Now, there are some people that make a pretty decent case that a lot of this has taken place already and was fulfilled around the time of Nero. Now, I don't really believe that. I haven't dug into it as deep as I plan on digging into it, but as of right now, I think it's all futuristic. Number two, I'm not entirely convinced that this is a microchip. I think it could be a microchip because we're taking it in, or not we, I guess, all you Antichrist worshipers will take it in your right hand or your forehead, and you can't buy or sell without it. And the technology is out there where that could be a microchip. But there's nothing in the Bible that says that it has to be a microchip. Number three, there is a lot of figurative language in the book of Revelation. And in the same chapter that talks about the mark of the beast, we also see the beast coming up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns. And then we see a second beast coming up, and it has 2 horns and it speaks like a dragon. Now, what does a dragon speak like? I imagine it would be like a really low, grainy voice. I mean, like, you've got to understand this is metaphorical language. It's not a literal beast with these horns and stuff. These mean something else. So it could be that the mark that you would receive in your right hand or your forehead is metaphorical. It could speak of giving your allegiance to the Antichrist through your mind or through your actions. Or it could be something else entirely. There's just no way of knowing for certain. Number 4, most of the people that I've seen making big deals about chip implants and things like that have been believers in the pre-tribulation rapture of the church. That means that Christ is going to come back before the church undergoes tribulation or a great tribulation. And if you believe that, then you're not even going to be here. Well, I think you'll still be here, but if you believe that, then you believe that you're not going to be here whenever the mark is being implemented. So why would you be afraid of it if you're going to be long gone? For the sake of argument, let's just assume that Revelation is futuristic. Let's take it as literal as we can take it. Let's assume that there's no pre-tribulation rapture and the mark is a microchip. Even if all of those are the case, it doesn't mean that if you have taken a microchip under your skin, you have taken the mark of the beast. You're not going to be like, oh man, I got that and I just made a mistake. Now I'm doomed to hell forever and I didn't even know. Now that's not going to be how it happens. Before the mark of the beast can be implemented, first the Antichrist and the false prophet have to come on the scene. And they make war with the saints, and they cause everyone to worship the Antichrist, and if you won't worship him, then you will be killed. The false prophet's going to call down fire from heaven. He's going to work signs and wonders among the people. He's going to give life and breath to the image of the beast and cause it to miraculously be able to speak. And there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going to happen. If all of that stuff begins to happen, then you can safely assume this is probably the mark of the beast. If they're telling you, bow down and worship this beast, this Antichrist, receive this mark, or you're going to die. That's the mark. Don't receive it. Right? But the mark is not some random company in Sweden that's putting implants in their workers' hands or something. That's not the mark of the beast, and you don't have to be worried about that. But I'm still going to refuse anyone that tries to put a chip implant in me. And I don't want it in my hand. I don't want it in my forehead. I don't want it anywhere on me because the thought of it just freaks me out. And also there's that conspiracy nut part of me that thinks like they can just track me wherever I go if I have an implant. I don't know who they is, but they know who they are. And I don't want them to be able to just track me wherever. And I know that they know all sorts of information about me from my phone, but I can put my phone down and walk away, and I can't just like rip this out of my flesh and then put it down and walk away. So there is that. But what about you? Would you ever take a microchip under your skin for any reason? Do you think that people are overreacting to the stuff that's going on in the world today, or do you think it's justified? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up because I may get a lot of thumbs down. And the reason for that is there are like 10,000 different views on this particular subject. And sometimes if I don't agree with someone's particular view, they give me a thumbs down, no matter if the video was good or if it was terrible. Right, so please do your part, give this video a thumbs up, also consider subscribing if you haven't already, and until next time, thank you for watching.